What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. I'm sitting here at my house. I'm finally home. I was out for close to a month, man. That was brutal. Like I was ready to come home, eat some real food, man. Um, it's always harder for me to get back in the truck too, man. It's like so many thoughts going through my mind about not getting back in that truck. So many things I got going on right now. Um, the reason why I was making this video is because uh, this is something that never gets talked about with all these trucking platform videos is yard dogs. And I want to talk about yard dogs versus truck drivers. Uh, I will tell you, because I was a yard dog last summer. I was a yard dog for like 3 months or something, and it was brutal as shit. And I have no sympathy for yard dogs because the place that I worked at was a completely dirt lot. There was no concrete almost anywhere except for the loading areas. And there was just the whole place was just one big giant pothole. It was just ridiculous. You were just constantly bouncing up and down all day long. It drove you insane. Um, every yard dog that I meet for all the places I go to are all concrete, nice smooth blacktop or something like that, so they don't have to deal with that. But the one thing I'll tell you about yard dogs is there's a whole bunch of them that are assholes that like they just hate their jobs. I don't know why like they even get these jobs. If you hate your job that much, you shouldn't be at that job. You should go find something else. But I feel like a good 80% of them are just absolute assholes. Even if they don't talk to you like an asshole, you can see it rolling around in their brain. They're just like always pissed off about something. I've had quite a few encounters with yard dogs that were not good. I've cussed some yard dogs, man. Let me tell you. I remember a couple like not this last tour, but the tour before that. I was at a Walmart DC, and it was the middle of the night. It was super dark, and I loaded up. I backed up to a trailer and I moved the tandems, and I get ready to go. I do all my stuff, and then I'm leaving, and I'm on the side of the building. And the Walmart DC, those places are huge. I mean, they are big, right? So I'm riding down the side of the building, and all of a sudden I hear a boom, like a really loud boom, and I thought I hit something, right? So I get out in the middle of the night with my flashlight, and I'm looking all under the truck. I'm looking all around the truck. And then as I'm doing that, around the corner comes this yard dog towing a trailer, and he didn't wait 1 second, didn't hesitate, because this is the thing you gotta know about these yard dogs. They think they run the place, like they think they legitimately own the place, and they're like the dictators of everything, right? So he immediately starts slamming on the horn. And I'm sitting here trying to look at what was going on. So I didn't hesitate for a second. I took the flashlight and pointed it right at his face. And I screamed as loud as I could. I was like, man, shut the fuck up. And then right as I did that, I could see his head just like go down like this. Like, oh, okay, I didn't say anything, And he didn't honk at me again after that, as I continued walking around the truck to check what was wrong with the truck. And turns out it clicked a little bit later. I felt stupid, but the reason why I think it did that is because if you know what I'm talking about. When you move the tandems, even if you get out and reset the little locking pin, you think it locked, but it didn't. The trailer stops moving, but it hasn't quite grabbed that hole yet. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I realized like a little while later, I was like, oh shit, that's what that was, man. That's what was making that noise, but nobody got hurt, nothing got broken, right? So that's just like one of my encounters with a yard dog, man. I mean, I could go forever. I'm telling you stories of encounters with yard dogs, man. I'm telling you, like, this happens to me every time I go out. Those guys never fail me. The one thing they love to do, if they think you're not doing something right, they will chase you down and completely cut you off, like pull right in front of you, like you're not even there. And I'm like, it's insane to me, like how these guys don't get hit by trucks every single day. And it's not like all over the news because they do it all the time, So that was one thing I wanted to say about yard dogs, that most of them are mental cases. A lot of them probably don't even have CDLs. And and for those of you who don't know, you don't have to have a CDL to do that job. You don't. When I was a yard dog, one of the guys I worked with, he didn't have a CDL. And what's funny about that, and this is something you really need to hear, he didn't fall under CDL guidelines. So he got paid overtime. We didn't. Even though, and listen to me very carefully when I say this, we worked for a trucking company, EPS, E-P-E-S, EPS, right? But we were paid hourly. We weren't paid like truckers were paid because we went to work. It was like a regular job, you know, and but we were like subcontracted, right? So we worked for the trucking company, but then the paper mill hired the trucking company and brought us there, right? So the way they got away with screwing us on the overtime was they were using trucker policies, trucker laws and regulations that affect truckers out on the road every day. Because truckers don't get paid overtime, right? They get paid mileage. But if I'm going someplace and I'm working hourly wage, I was making $20 an hour, you know, I should be getting paid overtime. But they were using those trucker rules and regulations against us to weasel their way out of paying us overtime. So that had me my ass on fire every single day, man. That was one of the biggest reasons why I got out of there, because I thought that was a completely shitty douchebag thing to do to people. Not only that, but the job just sucked ass. You know, you're sweating your balls off all day, bouncing up and down in the freaking truck all day long for not that much money, and you know you're getting screwed every single day. It's not worth it. Now. I said this was truckers versus yard dogs. I think a lot of yard dogs have never been a truck driver. That doesn't mean all of them, but I think there's a good bit of them out there that have never done that job. They have no clue what it's like. So it's like, and there's a lot of truckers that have never been yard dogs. You know, I've done both, so I can appreciate both sides. But I think there's a lot of people out there that meet each other and they can't understand or appreciate each side of the fence. They can't put on the other guy's shoes, you know? So that's kind of how I feel about that. I think if it were me personally, I wouldn't hire a yard dog without a CDL. I think it's dumb without at least a 6 months to a year experience, you know? So because he's going to have a whole different understanding of that job and how to move trailers. And he's going to have a completely different outlook on that job than if you just hired some guy off the street and taught him how to drive a yard truck to move around trailers, which, by the way, is extremely easy. Anybody can move. Like, I could teach you how to use a yard truck in probably a day or so and be backing up trailers pretty good, you know? Backing up a trailer with a yard truck versus a regular truck is two completely different things, right? I got into it with a yard dog one night because the lady at the front told me to move my tandems all the way back. And I was like, lady, that's probably not a good idea. Why don't I just do it after I back it in? She was like, nope, that's how we do it here. That's how we do it. This was down in Charleston, South Carolina. And I said, all right, well, this is the middle of the night. I couldn't see shit. I get into the yard and I'm like, these trailers are so close together. I can't see a damn thing. My tandems are all the way back. So I have the worst turning radius. I said, you know what? Fuck you. I went and just parked it wherever I wanted to. And this yard dog inevitably chased me down. He said, you got to move that, dude. You got to move that. I said, correction, dude. You're going to move it. I said, I'm not moving it. I already parked it. Once I park a trailer, I'm not moving it. And he got so mad. I said, you know what? If you don't like this, then stop telling people to move their tandems, you know? I said, I'm not doing it. And I'll tell you why, because if I bang up a trailer, if I damage my truck, that's on me. And there goes my safety bonus. I said, dude, I wouldn't give up my safety bonus for you or your children or anybody, you know? Screw you. I'm not doing that. All right? So that's just a couple of experiences. Those of you watching this, more than likely you're probably a trucker or you have some experience being a trucker, so you already know about that. I think a lot of you truckers have never been yard dogs. I didn't say all of you, but there's probably a huge population of you that have probably never even been in one of those yard trucks. And trust me, you're not missing a damn thing because it sucks. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. By the way, I see more subscribers. I'm past 500 subscribers now. Help me get to 1,000. Love you guys, and I appreciate you because I couldn't have done all this without you. All right, common sense ain't common.